been having some experiences behind her tent with what we believe may be some mimicking, which is interesting also because she's pretty much in the exact same spot when I woke up at our camp out a year and a half ago and heard somebody calling my dad's cat, Nibbles, Nibbles, and then it turned out that Nibbles was in the camper all night long, and the voice that I thought was calling, who would have been Juanita, my dad's wife, was in there sleeping and doesn't even like Nibbles and wouldn't have called her if her life depended on it. So we've had another occurrence of some sort of mimicking here, right in the exact same location, and Yvonne's going to tell us what she heard.
There was a group of people at the campfire, and I had just said to them good night. I was really, really tired and I went into my bed, but when I laid down, I could hear the voices outside of them talking. But as I lay down in my bed, I heard what sounded like honeybees behind the tent. But it was freezing cold, and it was about 3 in the morning. And I thought, there can't be honeybees out at this time and this cold. So I thought, go to sleep. But it didn't sound like, it sounded like bees, but they were like sort of saying my name. They were going, Yvonne, Yvonne. And the first time they did it, I thought, you're going off your head. But they did it another 2 times. And I thought, go to sleep, you need to go to sleep. You're not thinking straight. And just then, I was hurt with a stink. You know, that stink that you know is like somebody's burst a sewer. Really nasty.
Yeah, we do know that stink.
Really nasty. And it's my first experience camping, so, you know, like I had really no went to the toilet. I tried not to, and I thought, oh, don't tell me I've held it in too long, but I thought, no way is that me. That can't be me. But in the morning, I realised later, every morning that I get up, I do something that sounds very like what I heard, and I use my electric toothbrush.
Sounds a little bit like bees, doesn't it?
And obviously people around the campfire, especially one girl in particular, goes, Yvonne, Yvonne.
Yeah.
When she's talking to me a lot. So I think they identify me with the sound of my toothbrush.
I think that is so cool. That they not only say your name, but they mimic the sound that they associate with you when they do it.
Well, either that or it was bees that talk.
No bees.
Nope, probably not. All right, cool. Thanks for sharing that with us. Okay, so last night, several of us went for a night walk and left a few of us back here at camp. And when we got back, we discovered that they were really excited about what had happened. So we're going to have a little talk about it and share it with y'all about what was experienced here. So who wants to start? Well, who saw what?
So I was hitting my Tibetan singing bowl, and it's supposed to help with the throat chakra, which is communication. And then just playing my flute, and we were playing drums, and we looked over, and there was the lights went out on the side of the camper.
That's over across the road?
Yeah. And then realized it wasn't the lights going out, something was blocking the lights. Very big, blocking the lights. And then I saw 2 big bright lights up above the camper to the right. And then I asked the owner of the camper if they had any lights up there, and she said no. And then the lights just shut off and turned back on, and then went off, and then we saw a big object move by the camper and started walking down the road towards us, kind of off to the side, but I could see really long legs, like I would guess like 4 feet long legs, just walking, kind of gliding. It was very graceful, walking casually down towards us to the camp, and then the dog was barking and went over that way. And then he moved around to the side, and the dog barked more. Is there anything you want to add?
Well, what did you notice, Mike?
Well, the thing that I noticed is that the dog...
A little louder?
the dog alerted on whatever it was, and was acting like a pointer, like a dog is a pointer, and he was froze still, looking right straight ahead at the road out here, right by the cars, and then took off for the road. I mean, ran out the road and was staying out there. And then when I went off the road, she was sniffing the ground like a dog would if there's somebody walked on it. And then we came back in here, and then she alerted onto something on the back of my trailer right over here, and she alerted on that too. And so there was something there.
Something was out there.
Something was there, and then whatever it was ended up over here by these trees, by the that ice chest, and you could see the movement there. Couldn't make it out because it was dark, but of course we weren't going to shine any flashlights at it.
Yeah.
No, okay.
But we both saw the movement. There was just enough light from the glow sticks to.
Yeah, you could see the movement.
Now somebody said they saw white eye shine from that direction.
Well, I saw right this way, and now that I look in the daytime, I see where he was. There's more bushes, so I stopped playing the flute for a little bit, and then started up again. And then when I stopped, then I got like a flash of white, 2 white eyes, and so I said thank you, and they went out, and then I play a little bit more, and when I stopped playing, then the lights came back on, or the eyes, or I looked like 2 flashlights, and I said thank you again, and played some more, and then right before you all came into camp, I saw some eyes in a different area over there, just real.
So
real
basically,
quick,
it
just kind of
started that
surrounded.
way, went around camp,
Yeah.
and did a complete circle around camp back to basically the same place that it started.
Well, I think that there was more than one, but
There was
that's.
definitely more.
There was
More
more
than-
than
You thought so
one.
too? Okay.
Yeah.
I
There
was
was there was a little girl in camp, and everybody started seeing the trailer across the way, the lights going out and stuff, and of course they all paid attention. And the little girl got a little bit nervous about that. She goes, "He's coming over here! He's coming over here!" And so we got really close, and then the dog, of course, was alerting to all of it, and the dog just took care of the perimeter. She checked out the whole camp perimeter and made sure, I guess, that we were all in place where we're supposed to be. I don't know. She was making sure whoever was coming wasn't going to come in camp. And so then the little girl, the person, forest person, whatever, walked by and came around to the other side, which is the opposite end of where the trailer is, to the opposite end of our camp. And she said, "He's over there. I see him over there." And so we snuggled and got really close because I was really scared, and she kept me safe.
Oh,
So anyways, and it was quite exciting for all that, and then the eye shine, and it was continuous for a while. And of course, and the little girl, she said, "Please stop playing the flute. It makes him come closer."
oh,
But this today we went on the checking the gifting area for Lee's gifting area, and when we parked the car, I parked the car on the road in the pathway where she walked by, and there was a footprint right in the trail of where
well.
he walked by. So
Cool.
it was exciting.
So about how long did all this take?
Oh, probably about a half hour maybe.
Half hour,
Yeah.
45 minutes at least, yeah.
Wow.
It seemed like a long
That's a
time.
long time with whatever.
So how many people actually saw eye shine? So we have
There-
one person
3.
who's raising a hand who's not speaking.
There's 3.
Well, no, I saw it, but I wasn't with this group. So, if do you guys know what time this happened?
I'd say 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock?
About 8, yeah.
Not
There was
sure.
2 of us
Okay.
that saw eye shine up here.
And it was at 9 o'clock, you figured.
Yeah, it was after dark, and we
So-
got back from our walk around 9, so
Yeah.
it
So
was
if
after
it was
that.
at 9, I have a theory, because I'll put it to you the way I saw it. So my campground is about 100 meters due east of here, down a hill next to the river. Okay, so if the creature, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know what it was, came down through this way, due east across the bridge, around 9 o'clock, around the same time, I was by myself, and I was tending my fire, and I looked up across the river, and across the river in the water next to the big log that goes across the river there, which is, I'd say, 2 feet off the ground. Then that's about 4 feet. 2 feet above that, I saw 2 lights. I don't know. I mean, I was looking at the fire, then I looked up, but then there was 2 lights, 2 bright lights, white lights, looking at me from the river, about 8 feet up, I would imagine, 8 or 9 feet up. Those 2 lights stayed equidistant, stared at me for 30, 40 seconds. I looked at my watch to see it was at least 30 or 40 seconds that it stood there. Then proceeded to back up into the bush, where it went about 25 feet up through a cut, through a trail, and then I saw another set of eyes. So at that point in time, there was 2 sets of two lights, and then about 2 to 3 minutes after that, my truck was parked next to the river. It was coming down pretty hard rain at that point in time, so I could not hear anything on my end. But the handle of my truck was flipped and the interior lights came on. So I don't know if it all worked out where it was about the same time. It would make sense that something had walked down that road, maybe across, come back across the river down over on this part, made a U shape, and come back up here. Because if you saw the white eye shine there.
So the circle that came around this specific camp was actually extended out, including the lower campsite.
I would say that, because I was checking down through here, and I always just check back up the hill to see if there's anybody coming around, you know, or anything like that. But I didn't hear anything on this side. But like I said, it was raining very hard. I wouldn't be able to hear very well because of the canopy cover and all the way that bounces off there. So I didn't hear anything. I saw the 2 things, and it basically, I would assume from that it was making a U through the cap. So coming from there, coming down through there, coming around across the river, and then ending up over there. That's my summation. But
So the whole area that we have that we're using for our campsite was circled.
Yeah. And then last night, whenever, not last night, but before that, when you guys were up here, I was taking the nap, and a big stone, like I said, a stone that was probably 2 to 3 pounds, landed right next to my head outside the tent. So I know that there was no stone there previously because of the fact that I had cleaned up all that area for looking for small twigs and stuff to burn in my fire, and that stone was there. It was wet on one side, so it looked like it had been picked out of the river and thrown up into that area.
Wow.
So that's what I can say.
And we tried to call each other on the walkie-talkies while this was going on, since we were in separate camps, and neither one of us got a hold of the other one.
Wow.
But they've worked the whole time.
Yeah, so the walkie-talkies that were working fine did not work during that time period, and they're working again now?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. Okay, so is there anything else? Anybody else got anything they want to throw in?
Well, when I checked around the camper today, because I was wondering how the lights could be up so high, there's a knoll behind there where it's perfect view into the camp, but you have trees and stuff in front of you, so that's a really good place to watch from. Explains why the eyes were so high.
Cool.
Before all this happened, Samantha was here, and she was leaving, and when she was leaving, she pointed up behind the camper, and she said, "Oh, there's three of them up there looking, looking down at us." So we're all looking up there trying to see it, and that was before all this action, quite a little time before.
Two in that tree.
And that was still during daylight hours.
That was daylight when she did that, and that was, I don't know how much time before the event, but it was just, you know, within that time frame it
Yeah.
led into that.
And what you were looking at was basically in the same direction that the first eye
Yeah.
shine was seen
Yes.
from.
That's where they came from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where they came
Yeah, they
from.
came from over by the trail.
Yes.
Wow.
And there was still enough light that I could see his legs, you know, like the light behind his legs. It wasn't completely dark. But I
Wow.
have
They
really
liked
good
the
night
music.
vision.
There's no doubt that the flute and drum was-
Yeah, they liked
That's what
that.
attracted
Yeah,
them.
we were playing slow, you know, quiet, you know. just,
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Soothing.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing, everybody. Much appreciated.
Thank you for having us on the camp out.
Oh, I'm so glad you're all here, and we're not done yet.